The introduction of the NextGen vehicle in the NASCAR Cup Series has raised the bar for defensive driving. Dale Earnhardt Jr. considers certain drivers, such as Joey Logano and Ross Chastain, to have an advantage over others. During the most recent episode of the Dale Jr. Download, the two-time Daytona 500 winner explained why Logano and Chastain can mirror drive more easily than other Cup Series drivers. They have a skill that others in the Cup Series lack, and that's just the way it is. The reason why Joey's good at it, the reason why Chastain's good at it, is because they're willing to be the biggest D***** heads out there, Earnhardt Jr. explained. It's not ingrained in all of us to be selfish, and be purely selfish, but you have to be. I always tried, speaking frankly here, I want to be everybody's buddy. Everywhere I go around the racetrack on the weekend, I want to be friends with Chase Briscoe. I want to be friends with everybody. When I raced, I wanted to get out of the car and go, "Hey man, that shit was fun. You good? Hope you liked racing me." Now, we go to Daytona and Talladega, and I would have to tell myself before I got in the car, you're going to have to be an asshole today, because it wasn't ingrained in me to go out there and drive like that. I didn't do things intentionally like screw you guys and run people into the wall. I don't care about your race. But I knew, to be good at Daytona and Talladega, I kind of had to be a bit of a jerk. I think the way the Cup car is today, you have to be a jerk, everywhere you go. While Earnhardt Jr. only used that racing strategy at Daytona and Talladega, he admires Logano and Chastain's willingness to go the additional mile and race their way around every track in the Cup Series. It may not endear itself to the competitors, but it has been successful throughout the NextGen period. We'll see if more drivers follow suit if Joey Logano and Ross Chastain continue to achieve success. Meanwhile, Dale Earnhardt Jr. will not hold back as he strives to offer the greatest NASCAR commentary week in and week out on his return to the booth this summer. And if he's not delivering commentary, he's delivering race wins as an up-and-coming crew chief. Dale Earnhardt Jr. didn't just speak about the drivers, as he also had some words for Team HMS. This came to light as NASCAR has imposed significant fines on HMS following the NASCAR race weekend at Pocono, but not on one of its 4 Cup teams. After a triple-header weekend at Pocono Raceway, NASCAR decided to bring Chase Elliott's number 9 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet and Christopher's number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota back to the R&D Center for further inspection. Both cars were all right, but not the number 17 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet, which raced in the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday. Chase Elliott drove the car in Pocono, earning pole position and leading 38 of 100 laps before finishing 4th. However, something appeared to be wrong with the car. NASCAR has imposed an L1 penalty on Hendrick Motorsports, which fields the number 17 on a part-time basis in the Xfinity Series. They breached the NASCAR rulebook's sections 14.3.3.2, 1.1K and L, which address the main frame rail conical receiver. The team allegedly changed these receivers in some way. As a result, Hendrick Motorsports has been penalized a loss of 40 owner points and 10 playoff points. However, this has no influence because they are not contending for the title in that series. However, they were fined $40,000, and crew chief Adam Wall was sidelined for the following 3 races. Hendrick has entered the number 17 in 10 of 16 races this season, with Elliott, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Alex Bowman, and Corey Day as drivers. They've won 2 races, with Larson in Bristol and Byron at Charlotte. Hendrick Motorsports will not appeal the sanctions. There were no other concerns with this week's penalty report. Christian Ecke's number 16 Cowlick Racing Chevrolet, NASCAR Xfinity, also visited the R&D Center, and as with the prior Cup cars, there were no issues. After the crew chief penalty, Dale Earnhardt Jr., who had just won his first race as a crew chief, ridiculed his Hendrick Motorsports colleagues. Dale Jr. helped Connor Zilisch win at Pocono. It was the young NASCAR driver's first victory on an oval course. Dale Earnhardt Jr. received some criticism or dismissal after his first race as crew chief. A few people mentioned war rooms and how attached crew chiefs are to the tracks, even while they are suspended. Despite the outside uproar, Dale Jr. looks to want to do it again. Chase Elliott's number 17 car was returned to the Research and Development Center for a breakdown. The Hendrick Xfinity Series team was charged with a mainframe rail conical receiver violation. Adam Wall was the crew chief, and he is suspended for 3 races. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. says he'll contact Greg Ives to see if he can fill in for the 17 team. Ives has been at Hendrick Motorsports for years, progressing from mechanic to crew chief. In the Cup Series, he has worked with Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Alex Bowman. He recently served as crew chief for JR Motorsports and Justin Allgaier in the Daytona 500. Could Dale Jr. persuade his former crew leader to let him work on the 17 car? I'm not too sure. Ives is assisting Corey Day in the Xfinity Series with the vehicle. Maybe they need someone to catch tires during pit stops. Earnhardt proved that he can do both at Pocono. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had a fantastic debut as crew chief, with Marty Lindley watching from home and assisting whenever possible. He was joined up there by his buddy Steve Letarte, so Connor Zilisch was in capable hands. Earnhardt had numerous opportunities to wreak havoc. He was on the pit box and had the last say on everything. If he had made a decision against Lindley or Letarte's advice, they could have lost the race. Heck, he was clutching the tires, so he may have easily incurred a pit road penalty. Besides, it was fantastic to see him after the race. That victory meant a lot to Dale Jr. Whatever method was used, the task was completed. "Yeah, it sure was fun," Earnhardt stated on the CW following his victory. "When we have an issue like this with somebody being suspended and Marty and everybody, they know what to do. Just a great job, putting us in a position to succeed. And we had a lot of things go our way. A lot of good luck. Great strategy. Had a little help from Letarte up here. I wasn't not going to have Steve Letarte not get on this pit box after the races we won together in 2014. So, he was a big help. But Pat, everybody on this team, just amazing all weekend long. And what a great race car driver. Connor Zilisch is going to be a big deal in this sport for a long time. So, a lot of fun for me today." As the dust settles from a wild Pocono weekend, one thing is clear. Dale Earnhardt Jr. isn't just talking the talk. Whether behind a microphone or a pit box, he's reshaping the conversation around NASCAR. His candid breakdown of the NextGen era's psychological demands shows just how far drivers like Logano and Chastain are willing to go to win, even if it means being labeled the villain. It's a style Dale Jr. admits didn't come naturally to him, but one he now recognizes as essential in today's hyper-aggressive Cup landscape. At the same time, his unexpected debut as a winning crew chief proves he's still got the instincts to lead on race day. While the Hendrick number 17 penalty created turbulence, it also opened the door for Earnhardt Jr. to jump in, and he delivered. Tire in hand, headset on, surrounded by veterans like Letarte and supported by a rising talent in Connor Zilisch, he turned a potential headache into a statement win. Between calling out the changing ethics of driving and stepping into the spotlight as a race strategist, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is showing that his influence on the sport is far from over. He's embracing the chaos, mentoring the next generation, and maybe even redefining what it means to be a team player in the age of the next-gen car. Whether he's back in the booth or calling the next race from pit lane, don't be surprised if Dale Jr. keeps rewriting the rulebook, one brutally honest take or clutch call at a time.